Hey Grizzlies fans, welcome back to another edition of the Grizzlies Coaches Show. I'm joined this week by assistant coach Brandon Ratzloff. Brandon, how you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How about yourself, Josh?
Doing all right. Glad the temperature is finally above freezing for once in the last week. Speaking of, the team was outdoors for Hockey Day Minnesota last Friday. While the result wasn't exactly what the Grizzlies fans wanted, how cool was it for the team as a whole just to be able to experience and be a part of an outdoor game for Hockey Day Minnesota?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, just if you look at the venue was amazing. Great hosts there at Hockey Day Minnesota. The weather was a bit brisk, right? It was, I think, negative 30 with the wind chill.
Puck drop, yeah.
At puck drop. So there was a little bit of a mental battle right from the get-go, but with the excitement and the energy packed into the day, I think it really helped get rid of the nerves and all those mental battles that the guys were facing and just go out and play their game on, bringing it back to the roots, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Outdoor hockey.
Yeah, it was brutal up there. And, well, I can't even call it a press box, more of a press bubble outside. But I wore as many layers as I think I've ever worn. I still found a way to be cold. The team has been a little bit of cold as well as of late. Lost 3 games in a row. Granted, some top teams in the league, the Power and New Granite City, but they've only scored 4 goals in those last 3 games in the process. How do you get the offense back on track this weekend?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that we're struggling with, and a lot throughout the year, is just establishing net front presence. I mean, the goalies in our league are very good. It shows goalies from this league advance. They move into the North American League and beyond that even, and they get great chances at scholarships to go to good schools. You see that with Shane Soderwall in our organization a few years back, now at Clarkson. So we really need to do a better job of taking away the goalie's vision and being ready to jump on loose pucks in kind of that high scoring chance area. And right now we're just a step late, and also our passing in all zones haven't been well executed, so that's something that we really need to work on, is just executing our passes and making sure that we're setting ourselves up for success, whether we're in the D zone, the neutral zone, or the O zone. And lately it's been the neutral zone that we've struggled with, and a lot of turnovers in the neutral zone leads to odd man rushes against, and that's always a dangerous thing, right? So cleaning things up in all 3 zones, but offensively, we need to have more net front traffic.
Yeah, I mean, and again, good seamless transition play leads to a strong offense. It leads to good net front. It's just a little bit discombobulated at times, and especially at this point of the year, you can't really have that going on. I mean, you're in middle of January now, almost the end of January. It's been the final series in this month, and just a few more series left, and playoff picture is virtually basically set in the Central, but I mean, all 3 teams now fighting for that second place spot. So every point counts.
Absolutely.
And when it comes down to it, the special teams, and I know you hate when I bring this up. We've had this talk both on and off camera, but it's not just the penalty kill that I'm going to talk about today. It's the power play as well as also struggled. Just special teams as a whole have not been so special. Power play 0 for their last 14, 2 for the last 21, I believe, is what it's at. And then the PK did have a really solid performance against West Bend. They went 4 for 4, but take away that West Bend game, they gave up a goal in each of the last 10 games besides that West Bend one. So just, is it at this point, is it more of just a mental battle on special teams, or is it something else that seems to be causing the issue?
Well, you can pick this or that, but overall I'd say it is more of a mental challenge. The saying, winning cures everything. And right now, for our power play and our penalty kill, we haven't been on the winning side. So it gives players a little bit more to think about, like, are we doing things wrong? Things aren't going our way, and that's the biggest issue, right? So until we see success, we can draw up X's and O's all we want, but confidence is the biggest thing in the player's mindset in succeeding. So, we're going to continue to work on executing on the power play, and sometimes when things aren't going, you just got to get pucks to the net and really, like I said, establish a net front presence, but taking advantage of the extra guy that we have on the ice. We tend to move pucks around too much, and that leads to negative things happening and not getting offensive scoring chances. And same with the kill. We may execute in timely situations, which we have in the last few games, a couple big 5-on-3 kills, but then we leave one guy to walk down Broadway and then, the confidence falls right back. So
right.
It's the biggest thing is a mental thing, but when that comes, it's just a matter of simplifying everything. And for the power play, get pucks to the net, 2-3 passes, get them moving around, and then let's get pucks on net. And for the PK, let's be aggressive. Let's outwork them. Let's force them to make their own mistakes and, not sit back so much. So that's some of the adjustments that we're going to make, and, maybe not give away too much. But, yeah, I mean, confidence is everything.
100%. And I mean, you have to think that when that first power play goal goes in after this long stretch, it's going to be kind of the monkey off the back for a lot of those guys on both units.
Yes.
And there's an opportunity for that to happen this weekend against the Wausau team. Very good penalty kill, but you guys have scored on the power play against them before. Mm-hmm. They're 4 points ahead of the Grizzlies right now in the standings. A massive 4 points up for grabs.
Yeah.
What is the most important key going into this home series, the final one of this month, this weekend?
I look back at how we played on Saturday, and, the result obviously wasn't in our favor, but it's very easy to be misconstrued with the result at our level. Guys see it as a loss. Well, you've got to look at the positives. We played a really good game against Granite City. Mm-hmm. We outplayed them throughout moments of the game and outshot them at the end. So we need to carry over some of those habits, finishing hits, reloading above pucks, being on the defensive side. And like I said, I've been saying it all episode, is getting net front traffic. They've got a good goaltender, a couple good goaltenders, and we're going to need to mess with their head a little bit, right? So
100%.
Simplifying the game, not trying to do too much, play a good defensively sound game, and that'll lead to offense. And then we need to make plays on the rush too, getting our D active, not sitting back so much, and just play north, play fast.
It should be a very exciting series. A whiteout unofficially this coming Friday, and then a nurses' night as well on Saturday. Should be some fun ones. And now with the weather a little bit warmer, people might be more inclined to, get out of the comfort of their own homes a little bit. We'll have to see. It's been pretty brutal these last few weeks, but we'll step aside for a few moments here on the Coaches Show for a word from our team chiropractor, Thrive Wellness.
Your body is designed to function at its best, but daily stress, poor posture, and even minor injuries can disrupt your health. At Thrive Wellness, we focus on restoring balance and alignment so you can live pain-free and perform at your peak. Chiropractic care is a natural, effective approach to improving mobility, reducing discomfort, and enhancing overall wellness. Don't wait for pain to hold you back. Call 507-258-4100 or visit thrivewellness.com today to schedule your consultation. Experience the benefits of a properly aligned body because optimal health starts with a healthy spine.
And we are back. Time for the fun questions. Get the boring stuff out of the way. Well, boring depending on who you ask, I guess.
It's all important.
It is all important. And now the most important part, Olympics. Coming up in a few weeks now. I believe they start on the 6th or the 7th of February, I think. One of those days. I genuinely need to go back and look. But can't talk about hockey. Obviously, that's everyone here's favorite sport. But your favorite Olympic sport besides hockey to watch? Could be summer or winter, but we'll try and stick with winter.
Yeah, I'll stick with the winter. I really am a fan of the luge.
It's a good one.
Luge and the bobsled. It's just something you don't really see a lot, especially in the U.S., but that's always interesting to watch. They're going, I think, close to 100 miles an hour.
It's wild. Well, they always put it in kilometers, too, which is really confusing because I don't know.
Very small margin of error, so you have to be very strong and balanced and a mindset of dialed, right?
It is.
So
the luge especially, because the skeleton at least you're facing forwards, you can kind of see what's in front of you. But the luge, I don't know how you do that because it's kind of just you have to mentally know how the course is. And then the bobsled is it's a team effort, which is even tougher. Right. But they're a lot of fun. I've always liked bobsled for sure. My favorite is the ski jump.
Oh,
my
yeah,
favorite, because
that's
cool
crazy
how far they go. And
It's insane.
I go skiing, I go over a little bump, and I'm scared. I like lose my mind for 2 seconds, and then they're going, 300 feet in the air. Those Olympic athletes, man, they're something else.
Something else.
Something else. But something else that's coming up, I believe it's later on in the month of February, but there's been a lot of chatter about the NHL trade deadline.
Yeah.
A lot of talk about guys like Robert Thomas, Artemi Panarin,
Sure.
a bunch of names.
Yeah.
But is there a guy that maybe you think might get moved, or a team you think might make a big move coming up in these next few weeks?
Yeah, I definitely think the Blackhawks are going to make a move.
You're going to trade Bedard, right?
No. But, just they're a young team. They need kind of that veteran presence. They've got Foligno, but somebody to step in and really make an offensive impact. And you said his name, actually. Artemi Panarin
Reunion
was
side.
with the Blackhawks before they tragically just traded him away for no reason. And now is his time to come back and play with Bedard or Nazar or both.
Not a bad play. They have the pieces to make that move. I know, obviously, the Rangers are probably going to want a pretty big haul for a guy like Artemi Panarin. I think the biggest name out there right now on the trade block. And something about the Blackhawks just giving away young, good guys for no reason. They did the same thing with Teuvo Teravainen.
Yeah.
He's pretty good on the Hurricanes. Now he's back on the Blackhawks. So maybe, like you said, leave and come back. Would be a shock. I don't think anyone would really expect it, but could help the Blackhawks move back into that wild card race out there in the West. I think that's a really good one. We'll go from the NHL to college hockey. And I started the year with you when I talked about college hockey teams that we think might make some big runs down the stretch. We're more than halfway through the season now, just about I think 3 or 4 series left in the regular season. Is there a new pick for you think is going to win it all, or a team that's really surprised you so far this season?
Well, I always grew up rooting for the Gophers, and this year it's been a little bit challenging. Yeah,
It's putting it
really
lightly.
just haven't found their stride whatsoever. Penn State, I'm still pretty high on them. And, they swept Wisconsin. I think they were a top 3 team at the time. So they're looking good. But, Western Michigan, they're just...
No one's talking about them this year. They're
talks
still top
about
5.
them, but they do things the right way. They're well coached. Pat Ferschweiler, actually a Rochester native. He's the head coach, so he knows how to lead the ship, and they've got some good leaders, some good returners from that national championship run, and I think they're going to quietly go about it, doing it again. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing too. Is it's like it's not how. I mean, you just have to get into the tournament, and then anything can really happen.
Right.
We've seen crazier things happen. We've seen 4 seeds make it all the way. We've seen 1 seed to be dominant like Western Michigan. I think Western Michigan, again, so much talent on that team, a lot of veteran leadership, but it's good to see the return of Nodak up there in the top 5 now. They've been really fun to watch. Keaton Veerhoff's been great.
Yeah.
That team's been fantastic. They'll make a big run. And they're hosting this year a regional as well, is North Dakota. So they make the tournament, they're guaranteed to be in that region. And then unless they lose out, I don't even know even if they lost out, they would miss the tournament. They've been that freaking good this entire year. So
good shout with North Dakota. Also shout out to Bennett Zamolik, who is just a sponge out there. A key part of that Nodak defense, just eating pucks. I think he leads all of D1 in block shots.
I think
and he has every single year he's been healthy. So shout out to Booter, good buddy of mine, Roch native.
It's been a ton. It's been a ton of fun this college hockey season. I'm glad as a Penn State alum and Gavin McKenna fanboy now that he's finally turning the corner a little bit. And 4 goals last week, 5 points. It's going to be a big series this weekend at Beaver Stadium outdoors.
That's great to see.
A little bit sad I won't be there, but Grizz take first priority. They got a bigger game themselves against the Wausau Cyclones this Saturday. One final question for you, Bob.
What's that?
Just got to ask. Is the fit tough?
You know what? Now that I see the choppers, the fit is definitely tough. I mean, keeps you warm, underrated.
Yeah, really good.
It seemed like somebody was giving me a little bit of grief for wearing similar handwear.
Yeah, whoever that guy was must have been a loser. That'd have been crazy. They got a little bit. I'm not sure if you can see in the camera, but they do have a grizzly bear on them.
Yeah.
Shout out Hastings.
Wonderful.
For the free gloves. And you talk about the chompers. Grizzlies looking to chomp their competition this weekend against the Wausau Cyclones. As I just mentioned, a game on Friday, that unofficial whiteout game, and then a nurses' night on Saturday. You can, as always, buy tickets at tickets.rochestergrizz.com. And as always, let's go Grizz.
Thanks, Grizz Nation.